How did she not see it? Manipulation, verbal abuse, isolation. Love is clear. Abuse is not. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Kubrick, speaker, researcher, author of It's On Me and voice behind The Millennial Therapist. What is YSL Beauty's Abuse Is Not Love program? Okay. Abuse Is Not Love is a program dedicated to preventing and fighting against intimate partner violence. Right now, they're working with 25 NGOs worldwide. What are internal warning signs? The first warning sign is confusion. And this is the experience of just not knowing what to believe. There is a discrepancy between what your partner says and what they do, between how they treat you and their apology. And without clarity and understanding, it's really difficult to make the decision that's right for you. The second warning sign is minimization. This is downplaying the really important experiences that you're going through. It's saying things like, he only does it when he's drunk, or nobody's perfect. The third sign is disconnect. And this is disconnecting from yourself, but also from other people. So when we disconnect from ourselves, we start to not really recognize who we are, and it becomes so hard to define ourselves outside of this context, outside of this pain. And then as a consequence, we pull back. It's harder to answer texts or talk to people because we are so scared of their judgment or the fact that we're not going to have an answer to the question that they might be asking us. Emotional unease is really about looking for a pattern. We all feel emotions in a relationship, and once in a while, we're not going to feel a positive emotion. However, if that becomes a pattern and our relationship is seeped in guilt or shame or helplessness or humiliation, this can be an internal sign that something is wrong. And finally, there is embodied distress. Embodied distress is your body's way of showing you that something is not okay. In my research, I have found that many women experience chronic migraines, IBS, grinding of their teeth, lack of concentration, and even a lowered immune system. What is the difference between internal and external warning signs? There's a big difference between internal and external warning signs. Internal warning signs come from within. So there are feelings, our thoughts, our physical sensations, and they tell us how we experience something. The external warning signs are observable behaviors that tell us what is happening: manipulation, verbal abuse, isolation. Are the 5 internal signs different across different cultures? So I've conducted interviews with NGO partners across 8 countries, and it was fascinating to see that there were no differences between internal signs. That being said, I think different cultures relate to these signs in different ways, meaning sometimes it's encouraged to stay silent. Sometimes it's, rewarded to endure pain for the sake of a romantic relationship or for the sake of the family. And so I don't think the internal signs are different, but I think people's relationships to them can be different and sometimes make it really difficult for us to trust and honor those internal signs. What is the pandemic of confusion? That there was nothing obvious about abuse. I think bystanders, it's easy to go, how did she not see it? It's so obvious. But the reality is that love is clear. Abuse is not. Abuse scrambles our inner compass and makes it impossible to know who we are, what we need, and what we should be doing, or what is even normal in a relationship. And when we don't have this clarity, when we can't reconcile the fact that we love someone that hurts us, then it becomes really difficult to make the right decision for us. A friend's girlfriend gets aggressive when drunk. Thoughts? It is never okay to get aggressive, even if it's only when you're drinking. I think it's important to take it seriously, not make jokes about it, and really check in on your friend of how they're doing. Help them maybe reflect on how does this behavior, this occurrence, impact them as a person. Talk to them if they feel safe, and if they don't, maybe you can help them find a place of safety. But finally, it's important to remember that as much as we want to support and love those around us, we can't make these decisions for them. All we can do is let them know that we're here to help them if they want to leave. My friend cut ties with our friend group since she got a boyfriend. Is that normal? I think it's normal and quite common for people to just get swept up and immersed in their new relationships. But there is a difference between infatuation and isolation. Where is this, time being spent with their partner coming from? Is it their desire to really connect? Is it because their partner doesn't feel comfortable when they go out with their girlfriends or text their friends or have a life that they're not a part of? And so I think just checking in with your friend and asking, where they're at, how's their love story going, and what is causing this distance. And not from a place of sort of blame or judgment of how dare you not hang out with me, but more just checking in of like, how are you feeling and what is driving this distance between us? I miss you, I love you, and I think that's always good messaging. What is the difference between normal problems and toxic behavior? How can you tell? So even healthy relationships have problems and conflict. But healthy relationships have communication and repair and respect and responsibility that they tackle the problem with, while toxic or unhealthy or abusive behaviors do not. Often the individual will feel silenced and unseen and confused, and they will not have this collaborative effort to come to a solution. Instead, they'll feel manipulated or controlled or used by their partner. Where can I get help? Depends what they need. You can reach out to a friend, you can reach out to a therapist, you can call a domestic violence hotline in your local neighborhood. And then there's also wonderful resources like YSL Beauty on their website has links to information that can not just illuminate the truth, but also empower individuals. How can I support my friend in an abusive relationship? I think abuse thrives in shame and silence. And so talking to your friend and allowing them space to explain what this is like without any judgment, without you jumping to solutions or conclusions, but just really letting them speak is so important. Letting them know that they're not alone, and letting them know that if they wanted to change the reality of their life, you'd be there trying your best to help them. Sometimes talking about a safety plan is important because oftentimes survivors don't leave not because they don't want to, but because they're scared to. And so keeping that in mind is really important, and understanding that they will know their lack of safety better than you will. So really honoring their voice is incredibly important. What is healthy love? Healthy love. I think healthy love is a co-creation. It's the way that we choose to show up for our partner and for ourselves in this dynamic. I think it's grounded in responsibility, but also freedom and autonomy to grow and explore and express ourselves. It never asks us to be someone other than who we are, and it never asks us to be small. So healthy love is a process, and it's something that we build on a daily basis. It's a choice. How can I be a good partner? I think being a good partner is about really being curious. Being curious about the inner world of your partner. What are they feeling? What are they scared of? What are their dreams? What are their goals? Just really understanding them. And then the second component is knowing that you're not going to be perfect, but that when you're not perfect, you're going to repair. And you're going to repair wholeheartedly and as quickly as humanly possible. It's about taking responsibility for the way that you impact your dynamic with your partner and the way that your partner is being impacted by you. How can I know when to trust my gut? I love him so much. I think it's important to remember that we can love someone and still choose not to be with them. Just because you love them doesn't mean you have to stay. And I would say that our gut is always important. And maybe you have a contentious relationship with your gut, and sometimes you've been wrong. But at the very least, if your gut is telling you, hey, something feels off, honor it enough to investigate, to be curious. I think that's really important. When we dismiss it, when we silence it, that's often when we get ourselves into trouble. What is your role with YSL Beauty? I absolutely love YSL Beauty's Abuse Is Not Love initiative. It's powerful, and I, earlier this year, got to collaborate on their short film, Don't Call It Love. That was a really life-changing experience for me. And now I'm working with them to co-publish on 5 internal warning signs of intimate partner violence.